Recording. All right, we are recording. I think I will just give the floor over to you, me here. I will monitor questions, comments. And first of all, thank you very much, me here, for volunteering to give us a presentation on Copilot, the Power Platform and Dynamics 365. Over to you, me here.
Okay, all right. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, Anand. Thank you, everyone. So, welcome for this presentation on enabling Copilot in Microsoft Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform. Okay, my name is Mihir Shah, and I'm an enterprise applications delivery lead. My focus is on Microsoft Dynamics 365 for public sector as well as commercial sector. I'm based in New Jersey in US. And here today I'm going to talk about Copilot capabilities. And this is very new, so it's been released recently. There were a lot of announcements from Microsoft. So let me start by going through the agenda. So I'll talk a little bit about the Microsoft AI Copilot capabilities in Dynamics 365. So I'll focus on Dynamics 365 sales and customer service Copilot features. Then we'll go over into the Power Platform. So we'll talk about Copilot in Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agent, Power Pages. Depending on the time, we will see how much demo we can do. And then finally, I would like to talk a little bit about managing and improving the Copilot user experience as you are starting to implement Copilot in your organization. Okay. What you see on the right-hand side are all the Microsoft SaaS applications. So right from Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, Power Platform, Microsoft Fabric. So you will see there are multiple products, and most, if not all of them, Microsoft is providing the Microsoft Copilot in all their on their SaaS products. Okay. And this is more interactive. So if you have any questions, do ask questions. And this is all pretty new. So it will be a good experience to know and then try hands-on on how this works and see how it will be useful for yourself, your organization, or your clients. Okay, so first of all, what are the different options you have for generative AI or Copilot, right? So we want to right from no code, you can use the Dynamics 365 Copilot, and I will show you how easy it is to configure it, and you can start using it immediately. And then there is a little bit of coding or a little bit of knowledge required of the application, like the Power Virtual Agents or AI Builder. So there you will need to have some experience in creating a bot or creating AI Builder models. Okay, and again, I'll show a demo of that. And finally, if if you have good coding experience, you can start using Azure Open AI. That's a generative AI from Microsoft, and start creating your own, talking to the LLMs and creating your own generative AI models that you want to have. Okay, so that requires a little more of coding. You need to have some API experiences and how you can communicate and how prompting and all of that works. And we'll talk about it in the AI builder piece. Okay. So how does Copilot work in Dynamics 365 and Power Platform? So large language models. So we heard about in the news is all this talk about the generative AI, the LLMs or the large language models. So what Microsoft has done is provided this service called the Copilot. It takes your input. So it takes the input or the user prompt from Power Platform or Dynamics 365. It sends that prompt with the data. Also it uses the data from Dynamics 365, and before that it will go and look at the large language models and use that, and with the grounding of the data from Dataverse and then provide the user prompt response back to Dynamics 365 Power Platform. So it's all integrated. It happens behind the scenes. Really, you don't have to do anything. It's just enabling the service and configuring it as needed. Okay, so this will be a better explanation. So if you are in a scenario of a customer service, if you are using Dynamics 365 customer service and a customer service agent is using Copilot in customer service, Dynamics 365 retrieves the relevant user and organization context. So that's the data. It will retrieve that, and that takes and constructs a prompt. So prompt is basically a question of, this is a task that I want the LLM to do. And then Azure, it sends it to Azure Open AI service. It generates and returns a response. So this piece, the one in orange, it's not within your organization boundary. So it goes to Azure Open AI, and it could be into the large language models it might send. One thing is it doesn't send your data. So your organization data is not shared with anybody. It's just the prompt that is created uh, for getting the for to send to the LLMs and getting the response back. Okay, and then there is a check. So this is very important because if you use Dynamics 365 Power Platform, Microsoft has a built-in uh, moderation checks or provenance checks. So it doesn't allow things that should not be shown to a user. It will have those checks built in now, and that's one of the benefit of using Copilot within the application itself. Okay, and for OpenAI, and then the response is displayed to the agent. So that is the process briefly. Uh, as I said earlier, Copilot is there in almost all the models. Our focus today is Dynamics 365. So you will see that the Copilot will be available or is available right now in sales, customer insights, customer service, field service, finance, and you name it. The Copilot is either in preview or it's generally available. Right now, most of those Copilots are in US and they are being rolled out to other continents by Microsoft. That there is the low code platform. Even there, all the Copilot capabilities are available today, and you can create a instance and start testing it and creating your applications to integrate with Copilot. All right. Okay. So how to enable this Copilot? So I have some slides here to give you a basic setup that is required. So two things. If you have the Power Platform environment, if you go to your environment settings and feature, that is the new preview for Copilot. You have to switch it on. You also have to allow users to analyze data using AI-powered chat experience. If you want to put Copilot in a chatbot and have that enabled, so that you should have it on. And more also AI Builder, I would recommend that also have the AI Builder preview models available. So users who want to create any AI Builder model, they can start creating it. So those are the settings that you have to enable in the features at the platform level in your environment. Okay, we'll go through that shortly. All right, so before we go, let me show you those feature enablement. So here are my environment. So I have sandbox and developer environments in here. And if you see in my sandbox environment, if I go to settings, product and features, and then you will see I have this Copilot enabled. So this is where you have to set this and also allow users to analyze data using an AI-powered chat experience. Also, AI Builder should be on. So those are the two things or two or three things that we need to enable to make sure that users are able to use Copilot and test drive and create their own Copilot experience in there. Okay, so we go from here back to my presentation. Okay, so first I'll start with Copilot in Dynamics 365 Sales. So in summary, right now, as of maybe last week, these are the 5 things that Copilot can do in Dynamics 365. It can have the sales reps prepare for upcoming meetings. So if they have any scheduled meetings, it can go and analyze the meeting, who you're meeting with, what opportunity or lead, and get the context of the account and provide a summary. It also summarizes the opportunity or lead. It can also provide catch up. So if you are salesperson, multiple working on multiple opportunities and leads, and you don't know what's going on in that last few days, what happened, it can provide a catch up for you. It also gives you latest news of for an account. So if the account has is a public company, it has a website, and it has on the internet, it has news on it. It can go and get that and summarize the news information or update for the account. And finally, this is the it will provide you allow the salesperson to write a response or create an email to a lead or a contact. Okay, so those are the 5 features that are enabled in the Dynamics 365 Sales. So the question is, how do I enable this Copilot in Sales Hub? So if you go to Sales Hub app settings and then Sales Copilot settings, and I'll just show it to you. This is just in case you want to know how to do it in the future. So I am in my Dynamics 365 application. If you go here, go to app settings, and then you click on the Sales Copilot. So there you will see those features. So you have the record summary. So right now, out of the box, the features enabled are opportunity and lead. So it summarize the data based on the view. So whatever information is in the view, it will take that and it will take the first 7 fields of the selected view to create a AI summary of the record. Okay, so you can have a default view, or you can choose one of the views, or you can create your own custom view and then add the view here as a system view for this. So these are the different options that you have. So, and then you can see what are the 7 fields that it's selected, and you can choose, if these are the fields that you want the Copilot to create a record summary. Similarly, there is the record catch up. So in order to catch up, you'll have to turn the audit on for it to know what happened in the audit history of the record, and then again it takes any opportunity or lead. So it will, in this case, it takes the 10 fields of the selected view and then creates a catch up for it. Okay, this compose part is still not enabled for me, so maybe it's coming in the future. So we'll see when it comes. Okay, now when we are enabling this, if you know what apps you want it to be enabled for, you can have it in Sales Hub, you can have it in Customer Service Hub, you can have it in Customer Service Workplace. So it's not just one app, you can have it enabled for multiple app, and also you can use it in chat. So you can have it in from a composing point of view for creating an email or those kind of things, also in chat. So if you are using omni-channel, you can use it for omni-channel also. Okay, so this is where you will enable those apps that you want to enable from the app settings. Okay, so let's go and I'll try to see what I can do from here, from going into my Sales Hub. I have uh, my work list, my sales exit. I can go to my account leads, opportunities. So if I go to my opportunities or leads, I can see all my leads right there. And then I can choose any of my leads from here. So once you enable Copilot, you will see this small icon here for Copilot, and you can click it, and then you can click on the request, and you can say, okay, what are the things that I can request? I can request prepare for upcoming meetings, summarize the leads, catch up on lead, show latest news for account, summarize opportunity or catch up on opportunity. So I can say, okay, summarize lead, Deborah, and it finds the lead for me. And then it goes and gathers the information and then brings me on this summary of the lead. Okay, so uh, okay, now similarly, I can do other things like show latest news for account. So if I have this account, this is obviously a sample, so it doesn't have any valid information on the internet. Or if I go to an opportunity, it will also do the same thing, summarizing the opportunity or catch up on opportunity. Okay, and if I have any meetings, I can click on this and say summarize for upcoming meetings. And I don't know. I thought I did test one. Let's see if there is. Okay, so it's not bringing it up. It's using adaptive cards for this. Maybe I've not set up the adaptive cards for it, but it does have those capabilities in there for summarization. The same thing on the opportunity side. If you select one of your opportunities and then you want to have a uh, update on that, you can ask the same questions on the opportunity and fix orders. Okay, so pick up the opportunity and try to summarize. So it will generate the summarization and it will provide you all the details right here in the card. Okay, so let's go back to my presentation. Okay, this was okay. So second app, let's talk about is Dynamics 365 customer service. Again, as we had seen in sales, we are also able to use Copilot for five things here to summarize the case in this application. It will also summarize any conversations. If there's an omni-channel chat happening and you don't know what happened in those chat, maybe it's a long communication that you're having with the customer, you want to summarize it, you can do that. You can also ask a question. So it uses the knowledge articles or the knowledge base within Dynamics 365. So it can ask a question and it will go and get that information from the knowledge articles. Or it can also look at SharePoint within the same tenant or which where you have linked it with SharePoint and it will get the information from the SharePoint site. You can also draft a response. So if you're having a chat communication, you want Copilot to write a response, it can draft a response and it can draft emails also. Okay. We go page up. All right, so how do I enable Copilot in customer service? So you go to the customer service admin center, operations insights, and there are multiple things that you can enable from there. And I'll show you in the demo right now. Uh, so before we do that, let me talk about some of the limitations of Copilot, and this can change over time. This was based on the information I found on Microsoft uh, about Copilot. So in customer service, so the data, so it will only look at a 24-month period of data. So if you have cases for the past 2 years, it only goes back to the last 2 years. It won't go beyond that. So if you have any case which is more than 2 years, Copilot will not be gathering there. So there's a limit to what it will look at. Uh, there is no interaction to the if you are doing any interaction with Copilot, there is no limit to that. So you can also use Copilot to create those case topics for in customer service insights, but it requires at least three related cases, and then it can pick up and automatically create topics for you. The topic refresh is 100,000, so it uses 100,000 up to 100,000 cases or conversations per refresh, and the refresh happens once every 24 hours. So you have to make sure that the data refresh is not immediate. So if you added something today and right now and you want to know if Copilot is going to pick up, maybe it will pick up, maybe it will not. So it requires some 24 hours for a data refresh. It also has, so now licenses, right? So when you use AI suggestions for active cases, each user license gives 30 active cases where agents can get AI suggested knowledge articles. So if you have 100 users, you probably get 3,000 active cases. And same thing with conversations, you have 150 conversations per month per user license. So this is the information I received or I was able to collect from Microsoft website about Copilot in customer service. Okay, so let's go to the demo. I hope that information is useful, so you can check it out. Okay, so let me go to Customer Service Admin Center. Right, so see, it's operations and insights. So if you go into, if you are an admin, you can see AI features which are right here, and then you can enable the Copilot help pane, the summaries, the clustering for cases, and by default they may already be enabled, so you have to be careful. If you don't want it to be enabled, you have to go and disable it. So make sure you have verified all this when you are using Copilot. So it's easy. You can start managing it, and then look at what capabilities you want to enable. So make Copilots available to agent. It's just configuration. Just you are going to allow all this and set it up. The sources of the knowledge, right? So it will look at the knowledge base. If you're providing any web address, you can use, it will use the Bing for any website, and the others information there. So again, once you set it up, if you have a lot of knowledge articles, if you have like thousands of knowledge articles in your Dynamics 365 instance, it will take some time before it can ingest all that data. So you will have to give it some time. I would recommend to do it in advance if you have a lot of data that you need Copilot to go and ingest, right? So that's the setting at the admin center. Go back to Customer Service Hub. I'll do a little bit of a demo of how Copilot works in customer service. Uh, all right, so that's your Copilot right there. But let's go to my cases. So assume I'm working in Dynamics 365 customer service, and I have all the cases. And let's say one of my cases, uh, my company had shipped to a customer, and during the shipping, the shipment got damaged. So I have a damage during shipment case. So if I go and open this, and then I'm a new person, I really don't know. I'm a new customer service agent. I don't know what this case is about, but this case was assigned to me. So I can click on right here the case summary. So when I click on the case summary, Copilot goes and gets all the information about the case from the history, the timeline, the data in the case itself, and then it gives me a summary. So I can see this is the AI generated summary, and it tells me, okay, Yvonne contacted the support team stating that a shipment was damaged upon receipt. The support team investigated the issue and found that the delivery guy from FedEx added a note to the case. They are currently working on identify the cause of the shipment. So now I can get an idea without having to go on multiple tabs. And again, it doesn't go and get the information from all the fields of the case. It from selective fields, it will pick up the information. So it's again limited to what the configuration you have done for the case to be enabled. Okay, so let's say if I go back to my Copilot, I believe this is the one. Okay, so ask a question, because now this is a damage shipment, and I don't know what is my company's damage shipment return policy, right? So I can ask a question right here. What is uh, our damage shipment policy, right? So and that is all I need to ask. So if there are knowledge articles in there which will say, okay, our company's damage shipment policies is XYZ, it will go get that data and show it to the agent. So the agent does not need to anymore search for the knowledge article. The data is already here. I can also check what were the sources of this information, right? So it says this is the knowledge article on which this damage shipment policy was mentioned. So our damage shipment policy states that if you receive damaged product, blah, 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 right? And I can also, if this customer has email, and I can send it to the customer, I can copy it and send it via email. So that is a ask a question capability that is enabled by Copilot. At the same time, if I want to respond to this customer and I'm writing an email, I'm drafting an email, I can click here and click on email. And as soon as I click on email, let me go back here. It asks me what kind of email I want, right? So because my customer received a shipment which was damaged. So I want to empathize with the customer. So I want to empathize with feedback. So I'm going to click on this, and it goes, reads my case history, and then it creates a draft email for me. So that's amazing, right? I didn't have to do anything. It automatically create this entire long email, and I can copy this and it automatically pastes right here. So it has this capability of understanding the case, understanding what the problem is, where we are, what is the next step, and write an email response to the customer. So fantastic. I really love this capability, and I hope you are able to utilize the benefit of Copilot if you are using Copilot in your organization. Okay, so any questions till now, NR?
Nope, nothing so far.
Okay, all right. All right, so we'll go now to the Power Platform side. So Copilot in Power App. So, this is basically simple. It allows you to build an app based on whatever you want to tell it. You just tell, I want to create an app for doing one, two, three. It will create the app for you. So let's see. Let me first go to the Copilot in Power Apps. So I've logged into the Power App. Make sure you are in the right environment. If you are in the default environment, it might be an issue. You want to have your own developer environment or a testing environment that you want to test out your Copilot capabilities. So this one here, it's let's build an app and what should I do, and it can create any app that you want. So let's say I want to do manage inspections. So just try to be as informative as possible. So I can say create an app for managing, let's say, home inspections, right? So home inspections. So if you're buying a home, there is a home inspector who comes in, prepare a list of inspection records, right? And status. So I want to know what is the status of the inspection. So and then I click on this. It's going there. It based on some, and you have to be as descriptive as possible, so it will know, okay, this is what you're doing. It creates the home inspection app, gives me the record, and boom, it's already done for me, right? So it basically gave me a table. It prepared the app, and I can create the app right now. And I can add more data to the table, more columns, or it will or add more tables, have a relationship, all that. But this is right now very basic. I just wanted to create a simple app based on one table, and it will do it for me. So amazing functionality out of the box. You don't have to know how to create an app. It just becomes your first app, and you can start learning from it, and you can have Copilot do all your work for you. So okay, skip that, and let me just play this. Here is my app, home inspections. These are the different. I didn't add new columns, so I could have added more columns, and it will tell me. I just said create a record for inspection and the status. So I could also said put home address, type of home, homeowner, all that information, and could have done all that for me. So, and here is still Copilot here. You can, uh, add an email screen, add a gallery. I can take pictures of the homes. I can tell it to add a gallery to this. It will do that. Add a button, add a text label. So out of the box, on very simple, allows you to create an app, and you can see how the app will look in different, during using an Apple Apple phone or any of the other products that you're using. Okay. All right. So that's your Copilot in Power Apps. Have There's also Copilot in Power Automate. So Power Automate has a lot of Copilot capabilities. You can design a flow, but and then it will build it for you. And there is also the AI builder piece of it, where AI builder will be your Copilot. Uh, and you can use AI builder for a lot of other things. So let's go into Power Automate. All right, so when I first let me show you the home site. So I'm in the right environment at home, and I just asking here what you want to do. So it gives me some suggestions. So I want a email notification or noti uh, when a new record is created. Okay, so I can choose any of this just to, let's say when a new email arrives, send it to my Teams channel. Okay. So it suggests the flow for me. I can say, okay, the trigger is when a new email arrives, post a message. So if I have a customer service email address, as soon as an email inquiry comes or a sales email inquiry comes, I want to post it to a Teams channel. You can have this simple flow. Copilot will create for you and goes and it you do now give the Office 365 and Teams, and then it will create your okay. All right, let's not go too much into this, but it's simple. You can see how it will have a trigger. It will have you can have explain to it multiple things, and it can do all that for you. So it's Copilot behind the scenes creating a flow, and you can also enhance a flow, existing flows. If you have an existing flow, you can use Copilot to enhance it. Okay, so very useful for the beginners as well as people who are advanced in using Power Automate, and it can actually help you if you are not sure how to use Power Automate for any functionality. Okay, so that's Copilot in Power Automate. So now we are going into Power Virtual Agent. So Power Virtual Agents is a chatbot. I think that this is where the Copilot is the biggest investment that Microsoft has done is Copilot in Power Virtual Agent. So there is new functionality called generative answers. So generative answers is basically it takes your data uh, and analyzes it and then gets a question. It creates based on the question, and it creates a prompt for and based on the context of the data, it will go and create an answer for you. So you the this capability is enabled from Power Virtual Agent. So instead of let's go straight into the demo and show you the Power Virtual Agent capability. Okay, so let just go here, chatbots. I created one chatbot here called the New York City 311. If I go to home, I can create a bot. Let me just show you the bot creation experience. So, uh, let's say I want to create a chatbot for New York City. Okay, and this will be the website. So it can go into a website and get all the information. So nyc.gov. Let's say I want to go to the NYC website, edit advanced options, create, and it knows the website I'm looking at, and it will say, okay, it will go into the public website, gather all the information, and to create a bot, and then you can chat with the bot and talk about what information you want from the website. So it's already created a bot for me. Okay, I'm waiting for it to add the site. Site is added. Let me see it. Yeah, so here it is. Go to AI capability setting. So this is where I was talking about this generative answers. So I can have, I believe, up to 5 websites I can have. So it can take the data from up to 5 different websites, and it can pull the data in, analyze, ingest it, uh, and then it can get you answers from whenever you're asking questions. It does take some time for it to digest all the information, right? So it will take some time. So if you're doing it right now, it may or may not work immediately. So give it some time for it to have all the system to kind of be able to do that. The other options are you can also drag and drop files. So you can have up to I believe 100 files I read. So you can add up if you have documents in your files and you want the chatbot to look at those documents, you can upload like 100 files, 3 megabytes per file, and then you can ask questions. It will go and read your documentation and provide you answers. So a lot of different options, super capability, uses Azure AI. So those are some of the things that you should be aware of. So if you show you a demo of this, I'd created this 311. New York City 311 is a project. It's a service that New York City has. So if anybody has any questions on New York City 311, they can go online and learn about it. So let me show you the website of NYC 311. Okay. So this is the portal. So what I did was this is all the information that you need for any anything about parking, resolving a problem with the city. 311 has it, right? Now what I did on this site is connected to New York City 311, and I also added some. This is a website, and I also added some documents about parking tickets and disputing from New York City website itself. So parking is a big problem in any city, right? So when I want to say, okay, what are the parking rules, right, in NYC, and then it will tell me, okay, what are the parking rules. It will go to nyc.gov, or you go to 311.nyc.gov, and it will send the question, it will create the prompt, it will generate the answers, and then uh, based on what I am asking, it will create a response for me. So okay, retry. Let me retry this. Okay, so it's not probably failed the first time. Hopefully this works. But you can try it. Here is it. That's the parking rules. So parking signs and rules in New York City. It gave me all the descriptions. If I'm new to this, it tells me, okay, these are the rules you need to follow when you are driving in New York City. You obviously cannot park next to a fire hydrant. All this. What are the like I don't know, 7 8 rules. It also gives me a link I can click on, and it will tell me what the parking signs and rules are. Okay, here we go. So a lot of information on this. We can also say how do I dispute a ticket, or how do I, or if there is a street light not working, how do I respond? So now this topics and everything that's created, we don't have to create topic, we don't have to do anything. You just provide the website, public website, and it will go and uh, grab the data for you, and it will answer any questions you have, provided the answers are there on the website. Okay, but it's amazing. I really like this capability in this Power Virtual Agent. And I'll show you one more functionality. So another thing, let's go to this demo. Okay, so before we go further, I want to talk about how to use the Power Virtual Agent in a Power App. So you can use this, excuse me, you can use the chatbot in a model-driven app or a Canvas app. And that is the best benefit that you can have by creating a chatbot and enabling it in your Canvas or model-driven apps. So if you see this 311 website that I did, so what I did is I created a Canvas app, and I inserted the bot. So there's a new functionality. The bot uh, is the NYC 311 bot, which is there, and I created the same chatbot right here, inserted it. So you click on this insert functionality, and then there is this. Okay, let's see, input, and then there's the chatbot. And then once you click on this, it will show you what are the chatbots that you have created. You have to publish the chatbot. So once you publish it, and if it is within the same environment as your Canvas app, you can insert another chatbot, can insert that chatbot in this. Okay, so if we delete that, I don't need it this right now. I already have one. I inserted the New York City 311 chatbot. I can preview the app and then ask the question right here. Okay, so let's say, how do I dispute a parking ticket? Okay, so it's the same chatbot, but now I'm using it in a Canvas app. So if you have apps and you want to bring your Copilot created chatbot, generative answers, boom, you can do it right here, and it will grab that information and it will show it to you. So you can see it gave me all the information about how do I dispute a parking ticket, from that going into the New York City uh, website and grabbing that information and providing it here. So the same functionality exists, and you can add in the model driven app also. So if you add the custom pages on the model driven app, and basically it's a Canvas app into a model driven app form, and you can add the chatbot functionality to it. Okay, the rest of it I'm just going to go over. I don't have a demo for this in Copilot in Power BI, but it's very easy. You enable this functionality. Uh, it will look at your data set and it can create a dashboard for you. So you don't have to create a dashboard. You don't have to know how to create a dashboard. You just have to get access to data and let Copilot suggest a dashboard for you. It's that simple. So fantastic functionality. Uh, but I think I don't have much time, so I'm going to just go over this. This I can show you AI Builder, Azure Open AI service. So these are some of the capabilities when I said a little when you have a pro code. So if you want to create, look at the large language models and enable it, it's the AI Builder capability that you're going to use. So AI Builder can use the Azure Open AI service to generate a text, answer any questions, summarize documents, or create responses, right? So all this capability is there in AI Builder. I will briefly, let's go into the AI models here. Again, this is also new functionality, so I can build an AI model, and then you will see in here the Copilot capabilities are enabled. The text generation is part of the GPT capability, classification. So some of the things that generative AI can do is generate a text, create a response, prepare a document, or it can classify your data. So you can use all of that. So I wouldn't, if you are interested, you can try on some of these capabilities which are here from AI Builder itself. Okay. All right. So that is the AI service. There's also Copilot control in the Canvas app, so you can uh, create this and have the functionality for the Canvas app feature. Enable the Copilot component in the upcoming features. Okay. All right. So, how to improve the Copilot experience? So, once you enable Copilot, it's like opening the floodgates to AI, right? So you have to train your users. They should learn that you have to ask clear and specific questions. Don't ask generic questions, because the response you get may not be true or may be flawed. So the more clear and specific questions you ask, the better it is for Copilot to answer those questions. So it requires good understanding of what are the prompts. Add context, right? So you want to, when you ask a question to AI, generative AI in general, you should want to know what is the context, what is it that you want to understand. Is this related to a case or a lead or an opportunity? You ask the context on this. Okay, so I would recommend do a quality check on the results. So sometimes Copilot can give you wrong results because it's AI. You do not know if the response that you're getting is true or false. Is it valid? So you want to do a quality check, periodic quality check on the results that you're getting. Okay. For customer service, I would recommend to enable the knowledge articles. So all over, if your customers are already using knowledge articles, great, that AI is for them. If they are not, tell them to start using knowledge articles, because that's the best way of making sure that your employees are using the right data for Copilot. Okay. Also, don't use technical terminologies or acronyms that can be confusing, because that same acronym can have a different meaning, and we are talking to large language models, and they can interpret that acronym as something else. So avoid that. So those are some of the pointers. And so important thing is security, right? So Copilot, if you're using within Dynamics 365, it will follow the or the Power Platform, it will use the same role-based access control, so RBAC model. So if you are a customer service agent, you have access to only cases in your department or within a particular business unit. It will only show you data for that. It will not get you response or response for that. So that is very good. It's out of the box security enabled within Dynamics 365 security roles or Power Platform. We have to Another thing we need to understand is the data residency requirements, right? So if you are in Europe, and where is your data because of GDPR, you want to know where the data storage and processing happens. So I've given this little table here. So based on which location you are in, uh, especially for Europe, France, Germany, Norway, Switzerland. Those are the Power Platform environment region. The data storage and processing happens in Sweden or Switzerland. If you're in Australia, UK, or United States, it is in their respective regions. But if you are outside those first two rows, the third row, everywhere else, the data storage right now is in United States. Okay, so if your government or regulatory requirements are the data storage has to be in your region, just make sure this is the guidance that Microsoft has provided. Okay, so data residency is very important for many of our clients. And then the number three is the customer data. Your data is not shared to LLMs, nor are the LLMs trained by your data. So you do not have to worry about that. Copilot will not share your data with anybody, any LLM, or LLMs do not get trained by your data. Okay, so that's important. That way, your data, this is responsible AI capability that is enabled by default by Microsoft. Okay, that's all I have for my presentation. So if you have any questions, I'm here. We can talk and let me know, NR, if there are any questions on Copilot.
No questions or raised hands that have popped up. This was quite some overview, and yeah, it's really interesting. And just so you know, we talked a little bit about Copilot last week, and there were some discussions about licensing. Because there's a cost for Microsoft 365 Copilot, I guess.
Yeah.
And like one of our attendees and members mentioned last week, at least in the Power Platform, creating apps, etc. There is no additional license cost at this point in time.
So yeah, but what I have heard is, so I was attended the Microsoft conference, Power Platform conference in Vegas, couple of weeks ago, and we asked this question. There was this question raised, and the answer was, in Power Platform, the Copilot capability will be consuming the AI builder consumption.
Yeah.
So that's how it will be licensed. So it's your consumption license. It's based on the AI builder consumption model. Okay.
Yeah,
Stop
exactly.
sharing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
that
then as we know, with Dynamics and Power Platform, the licenses can change
yeah.
in a heartbeat, and so Yeah, the I guess as I said, the main cost at the moment is consuming AI built the credits.
Yeah, yeah. And your consumption is again driven by what questions you ask, what prompts you give to the LLMs.
Yes.
So if you ask open-ended questions, it can go high. If you
Yeah.
ask specific questions, very limited cost. So the
Yeah.
cost is
Exactly.
again on what questions you ask.
Yeah. And just to reiterate for those who want to try this out, for example, creating Power Apps, etc., Power Automate, you need to have an environment in the US region at the moment.
Yes.
So for us here in Iceland, we mainly create environments in Europe. This is unfortunately not even in preview in Europe at the moment. So
But it's coming. That's what I've been told that it's coming soon.
yeah, it's coming and it's part of release wave 2, which is basically from now and until about throughout March next year. So it can come
Yes.
at any given point in time during that period.
Okay.
Okay, if there are no other questions, then I will just leave it up. Yeah, end this meeting. And once again, Mihir, thank you very much for a very quick response of offering to do this presentation.
Yep. Thank you, Anar. Thank you, everyone, for joining this meeting. And I hope everybody enjoyed it. Okay. Take care. Thank you.
Yeah, take care, guys. Thank you very much. Bye bye.